In this video, I'm going to talk about all the tools that I use to create my collage artworks, so let's dive into it. Alright, now if you're expecting to see some fine brushes and nice oil paint, this is not the case. I am a collage artist. I only use recycled magazines to create this type of pop art portraits, and I don't use any expensive tools. Actually, you'll see that my art supplies are really cheap, and I don't know, maybe you'll find this interesting and maybe you'll try to create yourself some collages. Now, the first thing that I use is a pencil to sketch my... Actually, the first thing and the most important is the canvas, but you can do it also on paper or, I don't know, on a cardboard or on anything. I end up using canvases because this is like the industry standard, because all the art galleries and all art curators find an art that is on canvas more professional, let's say. Even if I don't believe this is the case, this is what I'm going through. So this is why I end up using canvases to show my art. The second thing I use is a pencil. I use it to sketch my portraits on the canvas. On the next phase, I actually redo the sketch with a thin permanent marker. I do this because the glue stick that I will be showing you next, it's pretty wet, so when I use it over the pencil lines, you can erase them. So using a thin permanent marker will ensure that my sketch stays on the canvas. Now let's get to the most asked question that I get, and that is what type of glue I use. It's just a regular glue stick, it's nothing special. I use this on all my collages. The brand it's Amos, but I don't know. I'm not saying that this is the best brand. Any brand it's good. It's only a difference of how wet or dry they are. I like glue sticks that are drier because this won't create curves on my paper, on the magazine paper, because magazine paper is actually really thin. If you have too much water into the glue stick, it will create these curved surfaces on the top of the paper, and I don't find it a problem, but I like the more flat look of my artworks, of my collages. Okay, so the most important element is this thing, the magazines. I use these magazines, usually fashion magazines. I usually get this from my friends. Every friend that I have knows I do collages, and when they have some old magazines that they need to throw away, they always text me, hey, I've got some new magazines, do you want them? I actually use pretty recent magazines because if I use old magazines, the white paper turns yellow, and I don't like that. I like nice white paper, just like this one over here. I usually use fashion magazines because in fashion magazine I can find beautiful colors, big variety of colors, patterns, and I know all type of shapes. They are way better than, I don't know, like any other type of magazines. I also use some science magazines. They are also very good because you can find a lot of interesting elements and photos. But let's say architecture magazines are not so useful because they don't have that many colors. They are pretty much black and white, and just, I don't know, like flat colors. So yeah, recycled magazines are definitely way cheaper than any type of paint. If you're into art, you know that paints are really expensive, especially if you use good quality paint. And fashion magazines actually use quality ink, and the result is pretty amazing. So using this for my collages, for my art, is just a plus. And it costs zero. It costs zero compared to, I don't know, like hundreds of dollars that you would spend on good quality paints. Now, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about the scissors. You need to know that I wasn't using the scissors until like 4 or 5 years ago. I wasn't using the scissors because I was only tearing apart the paper by hand, and I really liked the result. I think it was amazing. You need to know that these collages that I was doing back then, they ended up in galleries, they ended up in auctions. So scissors are optional for collage creation, but nowadays I use it because it helps me being more productive and being able to create small details that I wouldn't be able to do with my bare hands. Just in case you're wondering, it's nothing special about the scissors. I bought the scissors from IKEA actually. any type of scissors that it's good for your hand and that you can use, it's good. So you don't need any expensive, I don't know, cutting tools. It's just scissors, I mean regular scissors. Now, the last thing that I would use for my artworks is actually this type of marker. It's a really thick permanent marker that I use for signing on the back my collages. Just like that, on the back of the canvas, I sign them. This is actually a pretty expensive marker, but any type of marker would do the job. So yeah, you don't need to spend, I don't know, like $20 on this type of thing. Anything that you can use to sign yourself, it's good. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I will tell you that right now I started the new creation, some anti-portraits, and right now I'm actually using paint for the background. It's just for this collection. I find that it creates more depth to the portrait. So here it is. It's actually a regular acrylic paint, nothing special. I use different colors. I use a color for each of my artworks in this series, and yeah, nothing special. I applied with this type of brush. It's a really soft brush, and yeah, that's it. This is what I use also for the background. But now the secret to these collages, so that they can look good in time, it's actually this type of varnish. I use this varnish on all my collages. I use this varnish for a lot of years now. I use this decoupage varnish. It's actually an exterior varnish. It has UV protection. It's also like a glue. It creates a small transparent surface over the collage, and it protects it. It protects it from dust. It protects the paper for not getting yellowish. And yeah, this is the secret of creating collages that can get to galleries, auctions, and I don't know, maybe sometime soon in a museum. So yeah, I was actually looking around to see if there's anything else that I need to show you, but there isn't. This is everything that I use for my art creation, for creating my pop art recycle magazine collages. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have questions about these tools that I use, about my art supplies. I will be more than happy to answer to all of your questions. And yeah, see you on the next one. Oh, now just a quick question. Do you think I should also make a video about the tools and the gear that I use to film my art creation and all my videos?